Maybe should we have the light on? It's like this. Hi everyone, my name is Yana and I'm a Senior Manager of Information Security and Compliance at ShortPoint. Just a small disclaimer before we start, I'm not here to sell anything. Whatever references you will see on the presentation, it's coming from my own experience. There will be different vendors, different companies I'm referring to. It's based on the publicly available information, on my own research, own experience, own knowledge. So nothing, not selling, okay? If you have any questions, you can ask me later. But, and just also a small icebreaker before we start. Tell me, raise your hand, who here loves Harry Potter? No one. Likes books, movies, just a few. Game of Thrones? Yes, more, okay. Stranger Things? Yes, almost. What is your favorite one? No hands raised, tell me. Yes. Harry Potter, okay. So this is just for you to, actually for easy approach, if you want to speak to me. If you don't have any questions after presentations, you have them later. I'm going to stick around here, so please feel free to approach me. If you don't know where to start with Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, whatever, Stranger Things, easier. Then we can jump into cybersecurity. So I'm going to start in a bit unusual way. So we're going to go through real-life incidents and consequences. So they are real-life hacks that happened, and they were major, and then they went into history of cybersecurity breaches. I'm going to start with them because I'm going to go and refer to them a lot throughout the presentation. So that's why let's go a little bit into details. Let us begin with a classic data breach tale involving one of the largest and most notable breaches of its time, the Target breach of 2013. Oops, sorry. I actually have a note from Yana logo. That's not supposed to be there, that's for me. With its extensive resources and defense, Target was far more protected than most organizations. They invested millions of dollars into their security. At that time, they were really, they took it really seriously. And they had around 300 employees dedicated to security only. And imagine the size of the cybersecurity team, the investment they had, the backup they had from the higher management, yet it still failed. So in mid-December 2013, right in the middle of the holiday shopping season, just remember, holiday shopping season, very important point to remember, hackers had stolen detailed information for about 40 million credit and debit cards accounts and personal information of 70 million customers. That's really crazy numbers. On top of the lost profits, so their profits fell down by 46%, because holiday season is supposed to be the most profitable time of the year, but the profits fell down by 46%. And on top of that, on top of the lost profits, costs associated with the breach topped $200 million by mid-February 2013. These costs would rise significantly due to bank reimbursement demands, regulatory fines, direct customer service costs. So many lawsuits were filed. So it led to massive lawyer bills. So how, with all its security, like investments of $1 million, huge teams, state-of-the-art technology like FireEye, hundreds of security personnel, and round-the-clock monitoring, did Target fail? The answer is just one person, was one entry point. And no, not a direct Target employee. It was an employee of Fazio Mechanical, a third-party vendor who was supplying air conditioning and ventilation system services to Target. It was not Target employee, it was a third-party vendor who was connected through the software to Target system, responsible just for heating and air ventilation, imagine. So that happened. So the Fazio employee, what happened? Fazio employee fell for a phishing trick, opened an email, there was an attachment with malware, which he downloaded, it went unnoticed, and it reached Target. Next example, Saudi Aramco hack of 2012. We all know Saudi Aramco, huge company. In a matter of hours, 35,000 computers were partially wiped or totally destroyed. Without a way to pay them, gasoline tank trucks seeking refills had to be turned away. Saudi Aramco's ability to supply 10% of the world's oil was suddenly at risk. And without internet at the office, one of the most valuable companies on earth was propelled back into 1970s. They had to use typewriters and faxes. So they went completely offline. So they had to use all other means to communicate. So the company temporarily stopped selling oil to domestic gas tank trucks. And it reached the point that the corporation started giving away oil for free, just to keep it flowing within Saudi Arabia. It was really devastating time. The actual attack began during the Islamic month of Ramadan, holy month of Ramadan. Most Saudi Aramco employees went on holidays. And one of the computer technicians on Saudi Aramco's information technology team, and just want to pause here, an IT person, opened a scam email and clicked the bad link. The hackers were in, and here again, one entry point, just one person. So 5 months later, with a newly secured computer network and expanded cybersecurity team, Saudi Aramco brought its system back online. It took them 5 months with all their resources, 5 months. The company had to buy 50,000 hard drives, paying higher prices because they needed to cut in line ahead of every other computer company in the world, while temporarily halting hard drive supplies to everyone else. So they also affected other technology companies in the world. The hackers were never identified or caught, at least not that we know of. But just picture, the hack of this size could have easily bankrupted smaller companies, easily. And the third one, not going to go into details, but it's actually really the largest data breach in the history. I don't know if anyone knows Yahoo. It's not that popular anymore. Yahoo is kind of, yeah. So this data breach, largest data breach in the history, it actually lasted 3 years. Imagine, it was more than 3 years. Data breached, the data affected during this breach, it was 3 billion user accounts, basically everyone using Yahoo. So in September 2016, Yahoo notified the public that 500 million user accounts had been breached in a 2014 attack. So 2 years later, they announced it. Only 2 years later after the attack actually happened. So just 3 months later, the company came forward again, saying that it discovered another breach that had occurred in August 2013. And this is 3 years after the actual hack. At the time, Yahoo estimated that 1 billion user accounts were affected, but then FBI got involved, and actually it was determined that all 3 billion Yahoo accounts had been compromised, making it a breach of unprecedented size. All it took for hackers to gain access to company's network, yeah, I think you should notice the pattern now. One person, one staff member, through a series of spear phishing emails containing a malware download link, a person on Yahoo team opened that email, clicked the bad link, downloaded the bad attachment. So what unites all these 3 examples, I think it's pretty obvious. Who wants to tell me what unites all these 3 examples?
One person.
Yeah, different, but it's always one, just one. Yes, they unintentionally, but they gave away basically the keys to the whole kingdom. And which leads us to the importance of having cybersecurity program in any organization. So just before I go into this topic, I just wanted to see guys to get to know you more. I have developers here, data scientists. Yes, data scientists, developers. Yes, anyone else? UX, UI guys? Yeah. Cybersecurity, perfect, amazing. And any C-level senior management? You as well, okay. So you just one with us today. But I will not go too much into details because we're gonna just on a high level, I will touch lots of information related to cybersecurity program. Leave it to the company to worry about and to the management. So as for the corporate world, it is relevant more than ever for any company of any size and of any sector. Any company can become a victim. We all know that everything happens online. Here, there's a lot of cloud folks, right? Cloud technologies work, yeah. So regardless of the setup, cloud, on-premise, hybrid, doesn't matter. Everyone can be affected. There are certain different cybersecurity controls techniques being involved on due to different setups, but the idea and the point is the same. Anyone can be affected. So everything happens online, and there's no way to stay online completely. And let's see just quickly. Okay, so I put here collateral damage, external connections. There's many more scenarios. This is very high level. So how your company can be involved. The company you work for, maybe you want to start something with your, I don't know, friends. You have 2 people working together. You have 3, 5. You work for a huge organization. You want to be hired in a huge organization. There's a mid-sized company. Doesn't matter what size. So collateral damage. Collateral damage means, as you've seen with Target hack, so Target was actually the trophy for the hackers. Who was used? A local AC vendor to get to Target. So, and it was like what company, a local company, I don't know how many employees, will not lie, but there's not many. Mechanical, with Google, it's not a huge company. So they use Mechanical to get to Target. So collateral damage means basically any company of any size, when you think, oh, we're too small, who would want to hack us? Well, someone will want to. Everything's cloud-based right now. So you have different connections. You work with different vendors. You have different partners. You have resellers. If you want to promote your sales and marketing, this is very usual scenario. You would want to post big customers' names. Like once you want customers, you want to post them online. You want to show them off. It's normal. Of course, we all want to show them off. We want to get sales. We want to attract more customers. So all these big names, they also attract hackers because they know you have connection. You have connection to some of the vendors with big names, or you might be a reverse one, external connections that you have. You might be the target, and you have small different vendors you work with. You might have a delivery guy who is, I don't know, courier services in your office. If you have a physical office, physical setup, they can come in and bring different documents. They can drop a USB flash drive. You know, there's different scenarios how you can be targeted, whether it's through collateral damage or you can be the actual target, wanted target. So be careful about your connections. It's not about, I'm not trying to planting fear in your heads and saying like, no, you have to be completely isolated in this bubble and not work with anyone. No, it's about just being aware, guys. Just be aware, be vigilant, and share this information with everyone. As long as you live and you work in a community that is aware about their security, that actually is a strong point. That in that case, you are much more cyber resilient together. So, and I actually had a professor, Randall Fritzsche, Harvard professor. So he was my cybersecurity head program tutor, Harvard. So he used to mention these 2 things. There's 2 quotes from him. There's no such thing as being 100% secure at all, and you will be breached. And when I say, usually when I do presentations, say, you might be breached, like I'm trying to put it soft, but no, Professor Randall Fritzsche, you will be breached. At one point, you will be breached, and this is nothing to be scared of. This is why we need cybersecurity program. It's about how secure, how many controls we implement, and how we become cyber resilient in order to also to respond to any incident. So yes, someone might find a way to open the door, but then you can have additional layers of security. So you can actually prevent a bigger size of the breach. So there's no need to panic. And this is more for management. I will not go into details here. I'll just say, yeah, on the high level. So if you want to, but I think you know, cybersecurity senior manager guy, you don't need this information. So I attended the Cybersecurity event in Abu Dhabi. So where Karim CISO mentioned a very good point about every cybersecurity program being unique. I completely agree with this statement. So there's lots of guidelines, but the point is every cybersecurity program unique. An organization of 5 people, 2 people, 10, hundreds, 1,000, they will be very different. Different sectors, they belong to different sectors, they have different operations. So it's all different. Nature of business, agree, unique. Then there were lots of recommendations about how going for a compliance framework, such as SOC 2, ISO 27001. Some of you know, some of you might know later when you start, I don't know, you guys all employed? You guys all employed? You already work for companies, you're studying, so you will, once you work for the company, you will definitely know this frameworks. Pretty painful, but it's also a very good thing to do. It actually involves everyone. So when we go for security frameworks, everyone will be involved, not only your security team. You will be frustrated with your security team. They will be telling you, don't do this and don't do that and don't install this information. You need to go through approvals. So that's very frustrating. When I was starting with Microsoft, so I had it all the time. It was so annoying. Later, I understood it. Why? So, just this is I'm not going more into details, but also 3 most important aspects of risk that will be also important for you is to kind of get an idea what a cybersecurity program is about. So it is based on 3 most important aspects of risk, which is business operational, legal investigation, and also, and reputational. So they all involve financial risk as well, all 3 of them, but these are 3 most important, and everything is basically connected to these aspects of risk when it comes to building cybersecurity program. So every organization is about its people. Also, this is like the slide is more management related, but I would like to tell you. So you said you're developers. We have data scientists, guy developers. Some of you might go into program management, product management, project management. You're all part of software development lifecycle. So you guys, each one of you here, are the Holy Grail for every hacker. Each one of you has access. And some of you will have access that not even CEO of every company has. You have access to code, you have access to processes, you have access to very sensitive information from the company. So you are like very desirable target for every hacker. They will want to go for you because you are that entry point. They will want you as that one person who can click the link because you have the highest access, one of the highest access. Of course, there's different ones, but you have very, very valuable access and lots of access to sensitive information. Another thing is, but also, I don't know if there's anyone, but if you are not related to tech departments, that doesn't mean you will not be targeted. HR, office managers, anyone who has some kind of access, like just an internal email, if you have just an email that belongs to the company and it's still valuable, you have internal email. That's all, like they also want that. They want access to that internal email. So regardless of what department you belong, you're a desirable target when it comes to working with corporations, working with companies. They will want to use you as an entry point. Another thing that might be relevant to you, when you work for companies, when you start working for different companies, you will want your data to be protected as well. So why it's important to have the cybersecurity mindset in your workplace. First with workplace, we're going to move to life as well. But workplace is because you want your company you work for to protect your information. You share with them your passport, ID, visa details. You share with them your banking information. They need to transfer salaries somewhere, right? They know your physical addresses. They have your photos. They have so much information about you. Might be even family members because they provide you health insurance and so on. So this, the information that companies have about you, it's also very critical, very sensitive, very crucial. So that's why when you start for a company, you would want to be one of the people who spreads cybersecurity awareness. start building cybersecurity mindset in your workplace, in your surroundings. You want your management to invest into security trainings. You want your management to be taking care of your data. So that's very important that you start thinking that way as well. So now, anyone still has questions who want to hack me? And don't be shy, no? In case. But in case, if you're still having this question, who would want to hack me? How is it even applicable to me or my life or the company I work for? We are only 2 people. We just started. We sell candles online, social media to, I don't know, friends and families. So I get this question a lot from people around, friends, mostly acquaintances. They always, when they hear, they're like, oh, who would want to hack me? Like, who needs me? I have nothing to give away. But it's, it's a lot like, another question to you. Are you guys anyone into quantum physics? Yes. Schrodinger's cat. Yeah. So it's a lot like with Schrodinger's cat. It's either dead and or alive, dead and alive at the same time until you actually open the box and find out the outcome. So that's the same thing here. You never know. Like, you're sitting just at home and you never know what can happen, and why it could be the reasons. We're going to move to this forward in a little bit. So, okay, yeah, here. So the reasons why, and I will share some information about different types of hackers and possible reasons behind their attacks. So why each one of you here can be the target, like work environment, real life, even doesn't matter. You all can be a target. So types of hackers and motivational factors. I listed here 7. We're not going to go into all of them. The most applicable to us here will be 2. So now let's try to enter the hacker's mind and review these 2 types. So the first one is lone hackers. They operate on individual basis. They are motivated by their own desires. And own desires, just brains, own desires can be emotional. You can be, you had an argument with your friend and they decided to do something out of revenge. I don't know, something small, something like sell your data or get some, something, get back at you. Emotional. Can be relationship related as well, any kind of relationship, romantic, friendship, or you have disgruntled employee, or you are yourself mad at your company, I don't know, and you decided to get back at your company. Then lone hackers, they can seek financial rewards as well. So financial rewards like from ransoming, they can attack you individually, like, I don't know, hack your Google cloud storage and decide like, okay, I'm going to give it back to you, the access, if you pay me, I don't know, cryptocurrency or something. Yeah, Bitcoin, exactly. That cryptocurrency is very, in hackers world, cryptocurrency, Bitcoins, yes, very popular. So they can blackmail you, they can blackmail companies, they can profit from selling data online. So dark web is the place where data is being sold, I don't know, every second, every minute, any kind of data. So they come there in batches of data. Look, I have 100 mailboxes from, I don't know, that provider, that identity provider. So they have price lists, which identity provider, how many mailboxes cost. So they sell it all the time. There are people who buy this information. Eventually, like, I'm not going to scare you, but all of us have some kind of data in dark web that is being sold right now, or probably has been sold already. So that doesn't mean that they know everything about you. Eventually, they combine all these data pieces together and they might get some full picture about certain people. They might go for, I don't know, high profile people, and they combine all the data together, and then they can see and they can get like full information about specific person they're interested in. And I honestly, like me personally, I find lone hackers the most dangerous type because they're unpredictable. They can hack you just for fun. Just for fun. Like they're sitting at home and like they're doing it for fun, or they're upgrading their skills, or they do it to brag. Like, look, I hacked this company and they had these security layers and I bypassed them all. Look, this information I got. So bragging, upgrading, learning, upskilling for fun. Lone hackers do all of this. Like, their motivational factors, endless, unpredictable. To me, they sound very dangerous.
Their age is really low. Age.
Oh yeah, any age, yeah, any age. Youngsters, yes, they like it's like, I don't know, gaming online. They having fun hacking companies or hacking people. It's, petty criminals. Next type is they're mostly financial motivated individuals or groups. They opportunistically exploit vulnerabilities in cybersecurity systems of individuals, groups, organizations. They often lack resources necessary to launch sophisticated big attacks. So when attempting to access security systems or data, petty criminals rely on overlooked vulnerabilities to create a path of less resistance. So their goal is to reap as much financial reward as possible, but at the same time, they want to avoid as much risk as possible. And when they face a robust cybersecurity system, they're probably going to drop it and move to another target. So for these types of hackers, again, it's easier to target individuals, small companies, maybe medium sometimes. They will try around, but for them, less risk, less risk, better for them because, it's just like what they go for. They will not go for huge companies with huge cybersecurity resources and lots of money and so on. And I just wanted to share you a real life personal example. I'm not making up, it's a real story. I play beach volleyball and I have a friend that I play with, and she's a Spanish girl. Her name is Yana, and she works for a local company. They do some consultancy work for other companies, and they have like 20 people, and it's a local one. 20 people, and one time she comes to the beach, to the game. She's like, oh, we didn't work today at all. Like, I had a day off unplanned. So I was like, okay, what happened? Well, someone hacked our Google storage, our cloud storage, sorry, I'm not going to say Google, our cloud storage. And they encrypted all our files. And like some of us even couldn't, like, got kicked out. So we couldn't access any of the documentation. So we couldn't work. There's no information. There's nothing like for us to do. And for her, it was all fun. And she's like, okay, our company now, they're asking for some ransom. They need us to pay $5,000 in cryptocurrency. In Bitcoins, actually. So I was like, okay, well, what are you going to do? Well, the company needs to sort it out. We're probably going to pay it because we are losing more money anyways, while not having any access. So we're just going to pay it and that's it. So, and you know, when we walk around, we don't know how many companies here in Dubai or in the world that actually pay ransom. And we don't even know how they got hacked, what happened. They just pay ransom because for them it's easier, and they lose less money this way. So they pay ransom. That's it. We never know about those breaches. But small companies, they're so like they're candies for hackers in some cases, especially where they don't have the cybersecurity mindset. They don't think about it. They think this no one was going to hack us anyways. And hackers also are not stupid. They will not ask you for $100,000 if they see that the company cannot pay it. They will ask for some amount that is very realistic, not so big. The company can pay it off so they can move on. And they give access back, so there's no litigation, no legal dispute. So that happens a lot. And that's why, like, we don't know, but small companies are very often target for lots of hackers. But of course, I should mention folks that work on the good side. In the offensive cybersecurity, we have a bug bounty and ethical hackers on our side that help companies to be aware of the existing vulnerabilities before they're exploited by the bad guys, and they help them to fix it on time. So David Colombo, I don't know, have you heard about David Colombo, anyone? You know, perfect. So also I attended the CySec event. He was there in Abu Dhabi last month. The guy who hacked Tesla, he's a good guy, ethical hacker, bug bounty hacker. He's 19 years old. No, right now he's 20, but when he hacked Tesla, he was 19 years old. 19-year-old guy who was sitting in his house in Germany. By the way, speaking about hacking for fun, on the couch, in a couple of hours, he got into Tesla's system. So API tokens that were exposed were actually the digital keys of Tesla. He hacked 25 Teslas across the world in different locations, US, Europe, and somewhere in Asia, Latin America, whatever. So he had a map. So there's 25 different Tesla cars belong to absolutely random people. And yeah, that's how it happened. Like, of course, was a good guy. But can you imagine if someone who was on the other side would have done this? Can you imagine your Tesla just drives away, or you are in a Tesla and just like makes you drive off the cliff or something? So it's really, I understand how it sounds, but like we just need to be aware of such things. So it's about us. We have the power. We have the power to influence and promote cybersecurity mindset. So yeah, I already mentioned a lot about cybersecurity mindset. We're moving towards this. How to implement it in our day-to-day lives. So here's a quote from, it's an English poet, John Donne. It really resonates in me when I talk about cybersecurity, because basically what it means is that people are not isolated islands. No man is an island. People are not isolated islands. We are all part of something larger. And if one person is affected, everyone is affected. We're born into society, we're born into family, we have a group of friends, we all connected to each other somehow. So that's why when I'm saying spread cybersecurity awareness, because everyone is connected, all of us. So coming back to individuals in day-to-day life and the question, who would want to hack me? Again, collateral damage. You might be connected to influencers on social media. You can be connected to them. You can be connected to companies. You can work for a company that is very desirable. Or like you guys, you have developers, data scientists background. So you will be very desirable. I already mentioned that. And then, 6 handshake rule. You probably all heard of this. So you can be connected, to any person. 6 handshake rule. Again, like you can be used as a stepping stone to get to someone, or someone else can be used as a stepping stone to get to you. So hackers, they usually do this. So they try to create a path of less resistance to actually like get to whoever they want, or to get as many as they want. Especially right now, everything's online. We all have social media accounts. So hacking your account can hack others. And I also want to say, I think data science guys, you will understand that data is the most expensive resource in the world. Really it is. And it will continue being that. I talked about dark web, how data is being sold all the time. Like it's just ridiculous the amount of data they sell in there. And how much of data actually humanity sends on a daily basis? Do you know how many? Like how much data they send on a daily basis? We send to the cloud 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. Quintillion is a number with 18 zeros. So that much data we send on a daily basis to the cloud. So humans, we do. I don't know, you want to look at cat pictures or you want to use Google Maps. We send data all the time. Every second we use a phone. So as more devices, appliances, and vehicles are hooked up to the internet, physical safety is at risk. Hackers can break into our home devices. They can peer at our children through baby cameras, and they can snoop around through our home security cameras. They can listen to us on home assistant devices as well. They can gain control of our cars, like I mentioned with Tesla, for example. They can also hack into implantable devices such as pacemakers or insulin pumps. As more and more of sensitive data is maintained, and as our biometric information is also gathered and stored, fingerprints, eye scans, facial data, DNA at some point as well. And I know it kind of sounds scary. I don't want to scare you because, like I mentioned, it's not the point where we sleep better if we know less. No, this is not the case. And it's not the case if I ignore it, it will go away. It will not. So it's better to be aware because this is where you can do something about it. And everything is online, like, for example, phone, I already mentioned, phone, tablets, laptops, Wi-Fi connection, public Wi-Fi. We go around, we connect to public Wi-Fi. Have you seen how many of those are not even protected? Public Wi-Fis? Anyone can connect to those. You never know who is connected together with you right now in the session. So there's so many, all those things. And like smart cars, smart homes. online shopping, delivery online, banking online. This is also social media, everything. And if you actually think about, maybe like try to think on your own time, who you know, who is connected to you, like, and just try to think as a hacker, for example, why you would be interested for people. I would say you all interested, like here, all of you, but try to think about like your real life if we are setting work aside, but also brainstorm what could you actually, what data you have or who you know might have sensitive data, and you will see it's very easy to connect actually. So let's take a Facebook example. So how many of you knew that you can download all your Facebook data from all time? Yes, even delete it once. Whatever was deleted, like you posted something, I don't know, silly, and like, okay, I'm just gonna remove it. I changed my mind. It's all stored. It's all saved. You can download it later. So if you go, there's the link. So example, you can download data from different time frames. So you can have all time. You can download it all. Emojis you use, communication style you use, your friends. So for example, imagine someone hacks into your Facebook account. They can copy you completely. They have all your data. They know your communication style. They know emojis you use. They know what you discuss with your friends. They can act as you. They can hack more and more friends. And like, social media hacks like Instagram, for example, stealing profiles as well. It's a very big business for hackers right now. And another example, I don't know, maybe also heard TikTok trends. When you download the data, like they say, okay, there's a popular trend, you need to download, it's kind of like AI enhanced something, and it actually tricks you into downloading malware. It's not TikTok itself, it's other guys that are using, okay, follow this trend, like there's a cool trend, so download our app so you can actually like be in trend and so on. So there was one, if you Google it, you will probably find TikTok trend. That was a malware. And okay, so yeah, so before I go, I just wanted to summarize it all. Like I mentioned many times, knowledge is our power, and ignoring, no matter how scary it sounds, it's not a resolution. It's solution in cybersecurity world. So it's in your guys' hands, in your guys' power. Please spread this information further. Discuss it with your colleagues. Discuss it with your friends. Try to make it, like, try to involve as many people as you can, especially your family members, for example. You know how many there's scam calls, like, oh, this is police, or this is your bank calling that your account will be blocked. Spread this awareness. Together, we can create cyber resilient community. And I'm here, like my main point here, to share all this knowledge, information. I don't have much time. I know I'm sharing too much and I'm talking too much. There's so much more I want to say, but my main point is, I do want you to hear that. I do want you to share it, pass it forward, share with your friends, colleagues. Please create this cybersecurity mindset in our community, cyber resilient, to make it cyber resilient, because hackers, they have over 800 sources. They share information about companies, about people, about data, about security controls, whatever, online between each other. Like they work together. There's a global communities, over 800 sources they have where they share information. We need to share as well. Like we need to share information about hacks. We should never hide it. We need to share information. We should never be ashamed. We should never be ashamed asking questions. You have your security team in the company, go ask them questions. Like, be friends with them. They're not bad guys. They're not trying to limit you and like restrict you from playing games. My developer always complains to me that I'm not letting him play games on the working laptop because it always gets blocked. So it's just pass the information forward. I don't know, you guys tired? I do have some bonus tips, quick ones, or like we can wrap it up here. We can ask questions. You good? Okay, so bonus tips. Remember I told you to keep in mind that Target was hacked during holiday season, and Saudi Aramco was hacked during holy month of Ramadan. So the trend with holiday season is very big. We're now entering the holiday season, so it's going to be Christmas, New Year's. This is the time when hackers are most active. There's lots of them. They target individuals mostly because people go on vacations, they get relaxed, they get together with friends, family. No one is staying alert. So we don't have it in our mind that we need to be like concentrated or like. So, and that's why I wanted to share quickly a few bonus tips. They're going to be very simple. You might know them all. There's much more. I will give you try to give you information about where you can read more. But break the regular password pattern. So regular password patterns, how does it look to us right now? So even if you don't look at the examples right now, what do we usually do? We usually start with a capital letter. We have a word with a capital letter written. We have some special characters. We have some numbers. That's it, right? Normal sequence. So if we don't look at this right now, I'll go into more details, but try to reverse it. Like at least, for example, if you don't want to, I will go into more the best recommendation, but at least you can ask your friends and family who don't want to use technology like password managers and so on. Try to reverse it. Start it differently. Start with numbers, special characters, finish it with the word backwards or with the word and then capital letters at the end. Try to reverse the pattern because we humans, we use regular patterns and hackers know this. That's what they use. Try to reverse this logic like this, at least the first step. So, and here you can see examples of good passwords. Of course, the first one and the second one. So you can use passphrases or passcodes, whatever you have some different associations and that you can easily remember. So for example, the last one is very long, but it's actually a sentence. It's easy to remember, but it is very long. So it's hard to hack. And yeah, you can see them and you can actually understand that both are strong, but which one is easier to remember? The second one, of course. So this is another kind of tip for you. You can create passcodes and phrases, maybe very funny, I don't know, whatever you want to create, something unusual as possible. Try to keep it more than 20 characters, by the way. They say 10, 12. I recommend you 20, at least 20. Next one, check if your password has been stolen. So you can check this. It's have I been pwned? So you can put in the your email address and you can see if it actually was noticed somewhere. So you can check if there is a possibility that your password was stolen. So John Smith at google.com, I don't know this guy, but I think when I go to different, when I travel in airports or public Wi-Fi's, when they ask for email address, I put John.Smith at google.com. So it's a very common name, right? John Smith. So probably this guy exists. I hope he doesn't, but I'm not the only one I'm sure I'm not the only one who uses it. Then the statistics from KnowBe4, like I mentioned, you see in different companies, this is not selling you solutions. It's a recommendation from my own research. You might be finding it interesting for you. KnowBe4, it's a company that is specialized in cybersecurity. I just watched their free resources. And there's a guy, Roger Grimes. He writes books about cybersecurity, so he's really cool. And if you want to find him on LinkedIn, he posts lots of stuff for free. So different security trainings. Yes?
You recommend KnowBe4 to people.
You recommend KnowBe4 to people. I don't know about trainings when they goes from corporate side. Yes, it's nice, but I would suggest to actually make it personalized. Security trainings, they need to be personalized. So it's good to go for company. It's a good start, but if you have security team when you work in different companies, if they make it personalized, that's amazing. You have good security team. They need to personalize it for you. They need to do trainings based on the risk assessment and your company specifically. But KnowBe4 has lots of free stuff, you as individuals can go and read them. So the average person has to log on to 170 plus websites and only has 3 to 19 passwords. This is really bad. So this means one compromise can leverage other. And the point here, please never use your passwords, ever. One password, one source. Don't use them anywhere else. Always unique and change them at least annually. I know how, like, you can say, well, this is just impossible. This is insane. I cannot remember. I cannot physically remember. I come up with so many passwords. There is a good solution. I really recommend you to do that. Use password manager. Password managers, they can be, you can do your own research. There's a few really good solutions in the market. Here, my personal, like what I did, my personal research, I would suggest Keeper and 1Password. You can take a look at them. You can do your own research and see. I would say one recommendation for sure that you need to know to go and look in your password managers. They need to have 0 trackers inside. You know trackers, right? It's like collects information about you where you clicks. It's basically third-party app that is integrated in the software, collect like usage data and other information about you. So password manager should never have any tracker. Like there has to be 0 trackers. Look for password managers with 0 trackers. There should be no other connection to any other vendor. Also, yeah, it's that's why never save your password on paper. And cloud storage, browsers also don't do browser autofill ever. Keeper and keep them in password manager. And MFA. So MFA, multi-factor authentication. Everyone knows here, right? What is MFA? 2FA. It's yeah, the same thing. Always try to use them wherever you can. Use them always, all the time. And what I would recommend, there are always several options. The good ones would be Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator. They generate code every minute. It's always a different code. Would be good to use them. So it's that would, I would set the first option, and then try to set more options as a backup. So for example, if you see that there is some sources that offer you more MFA, try to set them all. I usually use them all. I set up all MFA options just to make sure in case I don't have access to one and I can use the other, I have a backup. So if it has security questions as a backup option, I think it's a horrible way to do. Like, I don't understand why people still have it, why different sources have it, when you have to set up security questions as your recovery passwords. It's just, you know that this information can be found anywhere. And the questions they ask, what is your favorite food? What is your pet name? Or what is your mother's name? Can be all searched online. Like, in order to hack one person, that's official statistics, by the way, I need to know your full name and email address. That's it. I don't need any other information. I can find it. If I really want to, like if a hacker really wants to, they will find it. They just need to know your full name and email address. So security questions, bad idea. If you have to set them, you don't have any other options, lie, create something ridiculous. You never use it, come up with some weird word. Store them in password manager to remember. Keep them in password manager. You can store all this information in password manager safely. You can come back to there and refer so you don't forget it. And I think, yeah, I think that's it. I had something else in mind. I have lots of information. If you want to discuss with me, please feel free to approach me. If you're scared, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Stranger Things, something else, doesn't matter. And again, pass your knowledge on, start forming that cybersecurity mindset. And if you have any questions now. No questions? Good? Okay, you're tired probably. Sorry, I speak too much. I talk too much. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.